We are all attracted and mesmerized by beauty, be it a pretty girl or a handsome boy, a beautiful flower, a magnificent monument, a stunning sky. We enjoy taking selfies and preserving memories of that which looks beautiful. But beauty is not just momentary. It is timeless, transcending religion, culture, and nationality. And that's the world of beauty and art. Saint Pope Paul VI, at the closing of the Second Vatican Council, addressed the artist in the following words: "This world in which we live needs beauty in order to not sink into despair. It is beauty, like truth, which brings joy to the heart, which resists the wear and tear of time, which unites generations and makes them share things in admiration." For this episode of 8.25 FM, I, Joynal Fernandez, am delighted to give you a glimpse of some of the beauty enshrined in some of these objects at the Archdiocesan Heritage Museum. I am standing before a significant testament to history. This face of Christ is part of a sculpted figure that suffered serious damage due to a mysterious fire during a Good Friday service in the 1630s at the Church of Our Lady of Bethlehem in Dogri. A substantial portion of the back, the neck, and the arms of the statue was consumed by the flames. The parishioners viewed this disaster as a bad omen and decided to wrap the damaged statue and place it in the church attic. During a site visit, the statue was rediscovered and subsequently restored by Father Warner de Souza and the Heritage Company. I invite you to observe this beautiful 17th century depiction of the face of Christ. What emotion do you experience? At first glance, Christ may appear to be dead with his eyes closed. However, upon closer inspection, you will notice that his eyelids are slightly open and his forehead shows no sign of a frown. The artist aimed to capture the moment as Christ breathed his last on the cross. A cross-cultural reference offers a deeper understanding. Similar representations can be found in Buddhist sculptures, which often depict the eyes in a way that symbolizes nirvana or moksha, the ultimate state of being. The artist's portrayal of Christ here as a representation of deep yet noble suffering truly resonates with the viewer. There is a serene quality to his face that reminds us all that even amidst the fiercest storm, there is a place of peace. In life, we too experience burns and face moments of pain, heartache, anxiety, and despair. During these times, how can we maintain our calm and composure just like the face of Jesus? Perhaps it is helpful to remember the psalm that says, "Be still and know that I am God." Our next stop in time is December 2, 1964. The atmosphere in the city of Mumbai, then known as Bombay, was electric. Throngs of people crowded the airport terminal, all eyes fixed on the ramp. As the great door of the Air India plane opened, His Holiness Pope Paul VI appeared in his white cassock and red cane. His smile touched millions as he extended his arms in a welcoming embrace. The visit of Pope Paul VI to Bombay as a pilgrim of peace for the 38th International Eucharistic Congress is an unforgettable milestone in the history of the Church and the country. This remarkable event is commemorated by the chalice gifted by the Pope himself. During his visit to Bombay for the 38th International Eucharistic Congress, Pope Paul VI wished to offer the most precious gift since he assumed the papacy. What could be more precious than a chalice filled with artistic, historical, and theological significance, which was graciously adorned with the image of the Golden Lily? This exquisite chalice, engraved with a papal coat of arms, was created by the renowned artist Marcello Conticelli from Orvieto. It was presented to Pope Paul VI during his visit to the cathedral to commemorate the 700th anniversary of the Eucharistic miracle that occurred in Bolsena in 1264. This miracle inspired Pope Urban IV to establish the feast of the Corpus Christi. The chalice's name comes from the Cathedral of Orvieto, which Pope Leo XIII praised as the golden lily of all the Italian cathedrals. The pattern of the chalice is decorated with an etched image of the magnificent 14th century Gothic cathedral. The chalice, elegant as a blooming lily, is beautifully adorned with flowers. It is supported by sheaves of wheat held together by a hexagonal knob. Etched on this knob are words in Latin that translate to "like a lily of gold in thy hand." The wheat stalk prorate downwards, forming the median ridge of the multi-step and a multi-triangular base. A cluster of grapevines surmount the center. The base of the chalice is exquisitely ornamented with enamel work. The colors imitate the mosaic pillars of the Orvieto Cathedral. The symbols include Gothic trefoils, which is a symbol of the Trinity, the Greek cross, wine leaves, grapes, and lily florals. As we admire the beauty of this chalice, I am reminded of Pope Francis's heartfelt message to the artist. In true beauty, we begin to experience the desire for God. A place of admiration, a guardian of beauty, a journey through time, and a creative expression of faith. The Archdiocesan Heritage Museum, situated at the Diocesan Seminary at Goregaon, was set up under the leadership of Father Bonner de Souza, the director, and was inaugurated by His Eminence Oswald Cardinal Gracious on September 25, 2011. During this Jubilee year, as we walk as pilgrims of hope, I warmly invite you to open your hearts to the beauty, love, peace, and hope that transcends time, housed in these cherished objects of faith at the museum in Goregaon. Let us embrace this beauty and this journey together. See you soon.
And action.
Yeah.
Action.
I looked up, down, already.
See you again on 8.25.